You know what I mean?
Dude, what?
This fucking guy.
This is the MMA Takes Podcast with your host, Brian Petrie.
Yeah, boo. We got the champ. Timbo's in the house. Timbo went and launched his own podcast, Bet the Best with Tim and the Bear. Go subscribe. Go follow him on Twitter at BetTheBest3 on Twitter. They're putting out NBA winners every single day. But right now, we're talking MMA. We got fight night tomorrow night. Tim is the current MMA Takes. Tim MMA Takes, as I believe he calls it. He is picking lights out. And an area that I don't touch much on the podcast for me, this will be the first time we're doing this. First of many. I don't get much into fantasy MMA, setting lineups or DraftKings or FanDuel or wherever you're stationed at. It's just something I've never done. Tim does it regularly, does it pretty well, and he's here to break it down. So we're going to have Tim break that down. He's going to share his screen. He's going to tell you what to avoid. He's going to show his lineup, and then we're going to do some props. And, yeah, baby, we're going to do it up. So, Timbo, take it away, brother.
What's up, everybody? So we got UFC 258. Usman versus Burns. Awesome card. It has lost a few fights. Was it Jimmy Rivera versus Pedro Munoz? That was going to be a good one. I would have loved to have Munoz in my DraftKings lineup. So if you're not familiar, I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with DFS and how it works. It's
everyone but Devin, who apparently doesn't live in the 21st century.
Yeah, I need to do a seminar for Devin to give him
pay for it too.
Yeah, really, fucking $20,
$75.
Yeah, really.
For that guy.
So we've got DraftKings, we got FanDuel being the two biggest platforms. For UFC, DraftKings is definitely the preferred platform. They just have much better tournaments. So DraftKings, I think, has an $8 tournament where first place is $10K and like overall prizes is maybe like $80,000. DraftKings, you got a $20 tournament. First place is $150 fucking thousand. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get rich. Let's get rich. And with these, you're most likely going to tie with somebody unless you take some people that are just out of this world. That for instance, Roxanne Modafferi versus Macy Barber. If you took Roxanne on that fight, then you have a chance to maybe cash for first. But there's so many people in these tournaments, and if you are using DraftKings, can you see my screen? Okay, I gotta press. I can press that, right?
Make sure you can share it. I believe I let you.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
So actually, obviously, gambling isn't legal everywhere in the USA, and for me, it's just so convenient, and especially because I couldn't do sports betting legally on online. I had to go offshore to make my sports bets. Luckily, Virginia just came through with
VA.
VA is on the map now for sports betting. DraftKings, FanDuel. I've loved the last, I think, month that we've maybe had.
I saw you're a Twitter guy. You got those Twitter fingers. I saw you throwing some shots at FanDuel. I saw they responded to you. Something about Hero the other night or something like that.
Yeah. So with COVID, and this goes for the UFC as well. And this is something that this is where DFS and regular sports betting are totally different, because generally, actually not generally, all the time, if you make a sports bet and then that fight doesn't end up happening, that fight gets canceled.
Right.
With DraftKings, there's a certain time in which lineups lock. So, tomorrow, I believe the prelims start at 7:00. So that's when all of your lineups lock, regardless if Kamaru and Gilbert Burns are fighting at 11:30 or not. After 7:00, you can't change shit. Right. And, I think of an instance with Trevin Giles when he was walking out to fight Trailblazer. Right?
Yeah.
He passed out. And everybody who had him in their lineup, you get 0 points for that.
Right. Sorry.
And it's just, it sucks, but that's just part of the thing. And that happened with NBA last night. And luckily, that's why I can appreciate FanDuel and DraftKings, because when bullshit happens, because ultimately they're getting paid for those mishaps. Mm-hmm. They're still getting your money. They're not paying anybody out more for that.
Right.
So it's cool that they'll come back and give you a credit as far as whatever the buy-in was worth.
I like that.
I am filibustering right here. I work in the world of legislative and politics, so I'm filibustering because FanDuel actually DraftKings just made me download a separate file that tracks my location, so they're able, so they know that I'm doing it legally.
That was my question. Is FanDuel like sports betting? You can only do FanDuel or DraftKings in states that allow it, or is everyone allowed to do it?
So
the lineups, like that was the thing, because I see them like they're promoting everywhere. DraftKings is a sponsor of the UFC, and they're constantly promoting it. And I wasn't sure if that was a loophole if they got through, since it's like fantasy MMA, because you can bet fantasy football with real money with ESPN. So I didn't know, no matter what state you live in, I didn't know if that fell in that category or not. That's a question I actually had.
So that's the fantasy aspect of it. So, sports betting is strictly gambling. However, they kind of move towards DFS in a fantasy type of way where there's some luck involved, which ultimately there is, but there's also luck involved with, just sports betting. But I mean, that was just a loophole for them to get around it. So, I mean, because I was able to play DraftKings and FanDuel for DFS while it was, sports betting was illegal in Virginia. But if I'm not mistaken, and I wish I could answer your question 100%, but I don't want to give any false information. But I think there are states that don't allow you to do DFS or sports betting.
Right.
And that would just fucking suck. That would suck to live there.
I don't even want to live in that state.
No, absolutely not. Oh, it's saying, let me look around. Okay. We're getting there. But, just to give the viewers a little bit of background as far as how DFS works. So we're not picking winners here. Ultimately, you're getting a set. Okay, now it's working. But ultimately, you're getting a set salary. And then you have to pick from that salary. Obviously, you can't pick minus 500 people because they're going to be priced higher than those who are, dogs plus 300 guys.
Right.
So I'm going to share my screen with you now.
Okay.
And I apologize for not having this up before.
No, you're good, buddy. You're good. I like that we got to hear you say the word filibuster. I like anytime someone works out in a conversation, it makes me giddy. I like it. It couldn't work. It couldn't work, dude.
All right, I'm going to share my entire screen. We're live on Twitter too, right? I'm going to retweet this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Live on Twitter, live on YouTube. It doesn't look like Chalk Tejada joined us. He hasn't commented. This guy needs this lesson, and he blows it off. Unbelievable with this guy. Unbelievable with this guy. I'm losing you. Chop. Here we go. I got your screen up. Let's see. Add the stream. There it is.
Brian.
His screen is up. Yeah, what's up, bud? I got your screen up. You're just a little choppy, but I can hear you. Yeah, I can see your screen right now. The screen is up. There you go.
It's loading.
Yeah.
Move a little bit faster.
There we go.
With FS, as I was saying, you're not picking winners. You're picking the person who can get them. Oh no!
Let's go. I love tech hiccups, man. This is what it's about. It's an experience right here. Now it's a screen. The screen. Did you see that?
We're not sharing the screen, but I'm gonna walk them through. We're having some technical difficulties with the screen, but I do want to walk those of you who are listening. We're gonna walk them through it. So just a little breakdown. So with DFS, we're not picking winners. We're picking those people who can score the most points. And with how you can score points are significant strikes, ground control time, takedowns, knockdowns, and ultimately wins. So for instance, give me one sec. I'll look this up for you. Sorry, dead time. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
You're good. You're good, buddy. I was looking over on things too. I should have filled the air for you there. That's just,
all right. how scoring works offensively. So you're getting 0.2 points for strikes, 0.2 points for significant strikes, 0.03 points for control time for each second. You're getting 5 points per takedown. You're getting 5 points for reversal/sweeps, and you're getting 10 points for a knockout. 10 points for a knockdown. So, and then, obviously the winner of the fight is going to get some points as well. So if your guy wins in the first round, you're getting 90 points, including whatever you did during the fight.
Right.
Second round, you're getting 70 points. Third round, you're getting 45 points. Fourth round win, you're getting 40 points. Fifth round win, you're getting 40 points. A decision win is going to get you 30 points. And a quick win bonus is going to get you an additional 25 points tacked onto that 90 points that you just got in the first round. And that's if you win in the first round within 60 seconds. Right. So, you're obviously you're looking for guys who can finish the quickest. So let's take a look at 258. And I'm just learning this. Jim Miller fight and Bobby Green's off.
Is it off?
It's off.
Damn.
Yeah, Miller will no longer face Bobby Green, undisclosed at UFC 258. Green collapsed backstage prior to his weigh-in Friday, and the two fighters will no longer face off. The matchup between Ricky Simone and Brian Kelleher will now move to the main card for the event.
Man,
we're breaking news here, folks.
Breaking news right there. I did not know that. And the fight got put together pretty quick. Sounds like a pretty bad weight cut for Bobby Green. That's a shame. That was gonna be a good fight. That was one of the few fights Devin and I split on because the guy copied me. And that was one of the props I wanted to talk about. Jim Miller by points was 500 plus 550. I mean, listen, that's that could happen in a Bobby Green fight.
Absolutely. But yeah. I was looking, listening to you guys chop it up. Bobby Green has I think one submission win, and other than that, 9 of his 10 fights have been decisions.
He's not a big power puncher. He's a good striker. I can't believe Devin compared him to Anderson Silva.
Oh my gosh!
Don't know what he was thinking. Don't know what he was doing. I'm sure he just meant how fluid their strikes are. But if you put Bobby Green and Anderson Silva in the same sentence, you're gonna get some shit. You're gonna get some blowback from me. I don't know what he was doing. What's that guy doing, man?
Yeah, I don't know, brother.
But, Dev, I don't do YouTube, is what he says. He's a fucking 90-year-old man. What? You don't do YouTube? What? Fucking girl? That sucks though, because I like that prop. I was actually looking over the card right now, and it looked, I didn't know off the top of my head, but it looked, I'm on FanDuel, it looked one short. I'm like, there's something missing, but I just didn't know which one it was. There you go.
Yep. So I actually had Jim Miller in my lineup, and
that would have been a good one.
Just to kind of explain my reasoning for that. So so you start off with let me get you an exact amount here. So your salary is set. You're getting $50,000. All right. So your most expensive guy is Rodolfo Vieira.
Figured, yeah,
9,300. Yeah. And then the least expensive guy is, obviously Anthony Hernandez, who is Vieira's opponent. So he is 6,900. So that kind of gives you some understanding of where the price breakdowns go.
Right.
So Jim Miller was 7,300, while Bobby Green was expensive. They had him at 8,900.
He was a pretty big favorite. Jim Miller was a 2-1 dog in that fight. I took Miller. I like the dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to go to a decision. It's a crapshoot at that point. I mean, Bobby's tough. I don't think Jim can finish him, even though he's got good submissions. And Bobby's not finishing anybody, especially a tough dude like Miller. Definitely is going to go to a decision, and you got to roll the dice on 2-1.
And that's where you got to roll the dice on DFS as well, because that fight's going to go. You're putting the fight situation into your head. You're making a theory of how the fight's going to go. So that's how you're going to assume how you're going to get your points. You think Jim Miller's going to go 3 rounds. He's going to have 15 minutes of opportunity to land strikes, takedowns, control time, submission attempts, you name it. And at that price, you couldn't beat it because, it's very unlikely he's going to get finished in the first round. That's who you ultimately don't want to pick, is someone that gets finished in the first round and they end up with 0 points. So now I've got to pretty much – oh, shit. Damn. Yeah, exactly. Bastard. Oh, my bad. My wheel came off my chair.
I tell you what, man. If I was you, I know Dom Ray is a big guy. He's a professional fighter, great athlete. But if I was you, and if I ever saw him in a public place, regardless of the outcome, you got to smack him. You got to go, hey, Dom, you're cool and you're a professional fighter, but you cost him like $100,000. And yeah.
So folks, what Brian's referring to is I made literally the perfect lineup and DraftKings. It was one of these. It was one of the big cards. It was a pay-per-view card. It was a huge pay-per-view. So and then DraftKings shows out when it's a pay-per-view. When they know it's a fight that everybody's gonna be watching, that's when they do the $20 entries with $150K up front for first place. Certainly I wouldn't have won $150K all by myself, but I would have been splitting. Yeah, I would have been splitting $150K with not too many people. So that really let me down. Dom Reyes really fucked me there. And it hurt even more because I had Izzy in my lineup. And then after the Dom fight, Izzy ended up winning by first round knockout. And he got a shit ton of points. And I was like, oh my God. Because if Izzy would have lost, I would have said.
Here's what else Tim's leaving out. We did the pick'em. And he underdog. He handicapped Jan. And just was like, you know what? I don't know what it was. I mean, Jan was 250 underdog. Mm-hmm. And I think Devin, you can blame Devin because I think Dev Tejada in the house. He does YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. He's on YouTube. Hey, ladies.
Was in the comments?
Yeah, there he is right there. Hey, ladies.
Hey, Dev ladies. Chalky boy.
Look at him.
Good to have you, dog.
He does YouTube, everybody. But I think Dev got in your head because Dev was sucking on Reyes' dick a lot and then switched it to Jan, and there was a whole lot of confusion there. Needless to say, I blame Dom Reyes for that loss. And as a man, if I ever saw him, just as your friend, I'm smack him in his face too.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Dev, we know you picked Jan, bro, but for the months leading up to that fight, you sucked on Dom Reyes' dick because you thought he beat Jones.
Yep.
You picked Jan. We know. Just turn on. Can't get Legend by Drake out of my head. Ooh.
Hey, my man. Hey, Christian, I fuck with you, brother. I appreciate the support.
He's a cool dude, man. He's a cool guy.
So I tell you what, and so with this card, this is a very unique card for DFS from my perspective. I always, unless it's Nunez or Cyborg fighting, or Valentino, of course, I always stay away from the female fights because what you're going to get is a lot of low volume and a lot of decision wins.
Right.
These fights, I've got two women in my lineup. I'm rocking
about Maverick VA, dude.
VA. I'm riding with Miranda Maverick. I think she has knockout potential. I think she has first round knockout potential. Gillian Robertson, I'm not too high on her. I think this Maverick girl can really.
She's mean too.
She's mean, man, and she's from VA. She's from fucking 757. More so than 757. She's from VA as well.
What is 757?
Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, 7 cities. Yeah.
Did I say that right? Norfolk,
Virginia. Sorry, brother.
I have a guy I used to work with. He was from all over, but he said he was from Virginia, and he had the weirdest accent. Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk.
He had this, but he was like from the Carolinas. He was from Virginia, but he claimed Virginia and then he moved to Cincinnati. He worked at UPS, and this dude was a wildcat, man. But he had an accent. I didn't know where. I tried to pinpoint it, couldn't figure it out. I just assumed it was from Virginia. No, I'm from Norfolk, Virginia Beach.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Shout out to that guy too.
Yeah, shout out that guy. Maurice, I see you. That's his name. Maurice.
Is he watching? Is he a fan?
I don't know. He lives in San Francisco. There's a good chance that he's not alive anymore. But if he is, he's in San Francisco. What's up, man?
Shout out. So first person I'm picking, I'm putting in Miranda Maverick in there.
Love it.
She's at 8,500. So out of my 50K, 8,500 is now gone. Right. So my average remaining player salary is now 8,300. Mm-hmm. I just mentioned I'm putting two chicks in my lineup.
Who you got? It's got to be the co-main. Who do you like in the co-main?
Macy Barber.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
She's at 7,900.
Cheap. She's the underdog. She was a slight under. I don't know. Let me see if she still is. Yeah, plus 108. Hasn't moved. No money's came on her.
And
I'll take that tomorrow.
I was hoping. Oh, they don't show it. I was hoping they would show her what her salary was when she fought Roxanne. Because I know as big as a favorite she was maybe like what, a minus 500, minus 700 against Roxanne.
I think she was closer than the 800s.
Yeah, it was huge, man.
Yeah, Roxanne was no. Macy was minus 1100.
Oh
Roxanne
my God.
Roxanne was like plus 800 because I told the story yesterday. My buddy had a perfect parlay. We call him Mr. Coldhand. He can't win shit. And he would have won that parlay if he didn't fucking put Barber in there.
Oh, I remember you talking about that on the podcast.
How far are you from Wrightsville Beach, Tim? My favorite cousin lives there, lives on a boat, and we're going to visit when COVID calms down. Let me tell you something, Christian. Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina is my favorite city in the world. That is my vacation spot. Oh, yeah. My grandparents live there. We go there. Didn't get to go last year, but an awesome, awesome place. But, Tim, how far do you live from that?
Well, so I actually live in Charlottesville, Virginia now.
Right.
But I'm from Virginia Beach. I'm from Portsmouth, but Virginia Beach is right there. But that's about. I'm not even sure where Wrightsville is. I go to Outer Banks
all the way. Yeah. So Wrightsville Beach is in Wilmington, North Carolina, and it's all the way on the ocean. The very farthest east you can go in North Carolina. Okay. So I would, for you, just off the top of my head, I would say probably 5-6 hours. Takes us 11 from Cincinnati. I'd put you at 5 or 6.
Okay. But I have to check that out. I don't think I've been there. I
don't like many places. I love Cincinnati. I love where I'm at. I love my home. I've been to New York, been to Chicago. I love the vibes of those cities. I've been to Vegas, which was obviously Vegas is Vegas. But the only city I've ever been to where I feel like I could live is Wrightsville Beach, Wilmington, North Carolina. It's incredible. I think we're going back this year. Last year got canceled because of COVID. This year, COVID can fuck off. I had it. I got the antibodies. I'm fucked. Oh, yeah. I'm stronger. I'm stronger than Chimaya, that little bitch. So I'm ready to go. Fuck that guy.
Right. So I'm 7,900. Going back to the DraftKings line, I am putting Macy Barber in there. You look at Macy Barber's 2 prior fights to the Roxanne fight, 105 points with the first round knockout, and then 92.9 points with the second round knockout. And I think that the first round knockout was before DraftKings implemented the bonus, the extra 25 points. So you could tack on extra 25 points to that, and it would be 130 points. If she can get that, or anywhere close to that, she can give me a third round knockout. She's still meeting her value at 7,900. So that's the 2 I got there.
Yeah.
Third, I got to go chalky on this. I'm actually so when you pick, for instance, like Macy Barber, who's 7,900, that allows you to make these chalk plays, and you got to go Usman. I got to put Usman in there. And the most important thing here is he's getting a 5-round fight. He's getting 25 minutes to take down, ground control, strikes, knockdowns. That's a lot of time. And Usman has been the MVP of DFS, in my opinion. His last 4 fights against Masvidal, he had 155 points.
Ooh.
Colby had 130 points. Woodley had 170 points.
Wow.
Rafael Dos Anjos, 195 points.
Man,
this guy's a fucking must lock, and he's 9,000.
Yeah, I figure the Colby fight, because that was I know it was a really close fight, but that was a fight. But he didn't go for any takedowns. He didn't grapple or anything. He ragdolled Woodley, ragdolled RDA. I mean, clinched up and kind of ragdolled Jorge a little bit. Not as dominant as he has in the past, but yeah, that's a good point. He's a sneaky guy who, like, as a guy who's new to DFS, I love Usman, but I probably wouldn't even thought about that, because it's like, well, he doesn't go out there and knock dudes out in the first round. But you got to look at it as like, oh, he's getting 5 rounds to fuck you up, though. And he's scoring points. So that's something like, again, a new guy who's not into it. That's a good point to bring up, is fucking Usman's a workhorse for 5 rounds. He's getting you those points.
Well, in that control time as well, you're getting you're getting a 30th of a point for every second of control time. And if this dude controls you for 15 minutes, 15 times, I'm not going to do the math, but that's like 60 points, right? Or 15, 45. That's 60 points right there.
Yeah, do the math in the chat.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
What is Dad talking?
And now he just texted us and said that my guy Christian says, like, we're having an MMA Bet the Best Millionaires party in Wrightsville Beach. I love it. Yeah, baby. Dev just said Dillashaw and Faber in the works. He texted that.
No shit.
I could
definitely see that happen.
I mean, I don't love it though, because I feel like Faber might catch a murder. Like, he might get murdered.
I mean, TJ just got murdered in his.
I like TJ versus Sandhagen, I think, but Sandhagen deserves a shot at if Al beats Jan. I don't know. I think Sandhagen deserves a shot no matter who wins that. Okay, so you got Usman. I don't want to keep getting sidetracked, but you got Usman, Maverick, and Barber in your lineup right now. That's 3. You have 5 to complete it, right? 5 total. So you need 2 more.
No. So you pick 6. So I've got
6.
3, and now I need 3 more.
Excuse me. I thought it was
5. See, and so I had all this ready to go.
This is where it gets a little lean, in my opinion, because if it was me, I would probably spend the cash on Vieira. I think he's getting it, but you're the expert. Is it worth $9,000 or whatever dollars? He's going to get a first round finish, probably, most likely.
So this is where I got to make the decision of, do I want to take Vieira or do I want to take Ricky Simone? Both of them in their last 2 fights, Vieira has scored 106 by first round submission, and he scored 106 by second round submission. Ricky Simone in his last 2 has scored 131 in a second round submission, and 106 in a third round decision. So both, obviously, I think here is that Ricky Simone is the better play. One, he's $200 cheaper, which isn't much, but once it gets down to crunching the numbers and you need that extra 100 to get a certain person, it's going to be really important. And 2, my basis on this is I think Ricky Simone's going to keep that pressure more than Vieira is going to keep that pressure. I think there's a more likelihood of that happening. Vieira, his points from his two previous wins came because of the finish. If he doesn't get that finish, he's not even touching those points. Correct. And Ricky Simone, he's gotten 105 points off of decisions, which I ultimately think that fight will go to decision. And I think Ricky Simone's going to take him down and ragdoll him and get a lot of control time. So I'm going to go with Ricky Simone there, Liu Kang himself.
And that's that's a smart play, because betting for me sometimes gets emotional. I know you don't like Ricky Simone, but you're taking him. Christian says, does this all depend on DraftKings or FanDuel, right? FanDuel and DraftKings had different sets of rules.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So ultimately the prices are going to be just about the same. So the plays that I'm using here, most likely you can just translate directly over to FanDuel. However, there are some minor differences, and especially I think it was DraftKings just implemented the control time. So that wasn't a thing prior to like a few months ago. And also with FanDuel, they give you a MVP in your lineups. So that's very important to make note of as far as the differences there, because your MVP is going to get you 1.5 times the points that they actually get.
Right.
So
I like
obviously,
a cool little feature.
Yeah, it is a cool feature. I definitely go between both of them. And maybe on the next, maybe on the next podcast that we do, I'll do FanDuel. But for the sake of time, we're doing DraftKings tonight, and for the sake of just wanting to get fucking rich, because like I said, FanDuel's biggest contest that they offer is an $8 $60K total contest, and it's 10,000 for first, whereas DraftKings has a $20 entry, and it's $150,000 just for first place. Second place is probably going to get some $80,000 too. Big money, baby.
I got a guy that I would like you to put in your lineup if you're thinking about him.
Is it Andre Ewell?
It is not.
Okay, let's hear it.
Phil Rowe.
Oh yeah, well he was actually going to be my next one.
I feel like Phil Rowe is fighting a tough Gabe Green, and I think Phil can piece him up on the outside, land a ton of shots, possibly get a finish, but if not a finish, he's going over 80 strikes and hitting on this guy, Gabe Green. I think he dominates, and he's an under, so he's probably cheap.
He's not as cheap as I would like, but he's more expensive than Rowe. I mean than Gabe Green. He's 8,200. Yeah, he's 8,200, and Gabe Green is 8,000.
Tough game.
Well, but that's the thing though, because like we were just saying, it's not about picking winners. It's about picking the ones that's going to score the most points. We know that Phil Rowe's going to put that pressure, and he's going to throw his shots. Although, however, I've actually liked Phil Rowe. I followed him before he went on the Contender Series. He was him and Mike Perry used to train together.
Yeah, they did. MMA Masters. Yep.
He went on the Contender Series and did the same thing he did in his last fight. He comes out very gun shy, and he comes out like he kind of backs. In both fights, he backed into the corner And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you about to get finished? Like, it was not looking good. And then he flips his switch. I don't know if that's part of his game plan. That
it's like a slow starter. It's a weird thing. It's because he's so rangy. You feel like he would get out front and try to find his range, but he kind of does the opposite. He goes, all right, you come to me. It's usually really long guys aren't the best counter strikers. They really like to lead because they're so long. You get close to a guy with really long rims, he can't really fight inside because he's not getting that leverage. So they like to stay outside. I mean, one of the few guys that can really fight really well inside with long limbs is John Jones. He's one of the best at it. But historically, long limbs, you want to put that jab out there. You don't want to get smothered. And Phil Rose like, nah, come to me. He's had some time off. I'm hoping he comes out guns a-blazing. And Gabe Green, I think, is a perfect opponent for him because Gabe's going to come at him. He's a fucking tough, durable dude. He wants to get in there and get dirty. So I like that. So you're putting him in your thing, and you like Andre Ewell. You want to touch on Andre Ewell? Is that a guy you like too?
That's someone that actually I had in my prior lineup when I was able to get Jim Miller. However, I'm not able to get Jim Miller anymore, and that really sucks. So I am putting Phil Rowe because I do think he can get that finish. I don't think he'll get a first round finish just based off what I've seen from him. Right. But I think he can get his shots in. He can land enough strikes to build up a decent amount of points. And then if he can get that second round finish and give me the extra 60 points, then hey, that's well worth it at 8,200 price. So there we got 8,200 for Phil Rowe.
There we go. We got 4 or 5 right now.
That was my 5th one. So this last one coming up is where the real strategy comes in my opinion. And you're going to say, someone not knowing DFS, you're going to say, what are you talking about?
I don't think so. I think I can read your mind right now. Go ahead and say it. I'll tell you what I think.
Gilbert Burns.
No, I wasn't going to say that. That's actually I was going to say Ian Hines because of the way Kelvin looked on the scales today. I think Ian Hines is going to push a pace on that chubby fucker. But Gilbert Burns, you're right. You don't pick winners, you pick points. That's a 5-round fight. Exactly. That's a 5-round fucking. That might be one of those 5-round fights where it's like you think someone wins, and you know what I mean, and we're gonna have to rematch it. And I like that.
And I think a lot of this is I don't have his stats right in front of me, but Usman's fight against Colby, that went 5 rounds. Granted, he got finished in the 5th round, but Colby had over 100 points in that fight just because he landed so many strikes.
So it was 2-2 on most people's scorecards going on that 5th. Like Colby's landing a lot. If Colby had any power, it could have been a rough night for Usman, but they were just slanging and banging, dude.
And to be fair, if Usman obviously finished him. Some people call it a controversial finish, call it what it was, but Usman's power isn't so devastating because Colby obviously got to the 5th round with getting hit over 200 times in the face.
Right.
So that's why I think that Gilbert Burns is for this particular lineup the best play there because he's getting a 30. If this is probably the wrong math, but it's just about he's getting 35% more of a chance to score points than anybody that's in a 3rd round fight because he's getting those additional 2 rounds to do whatever he can with them. So, we'll see how it plays out. And granted with COVID, viewers obviously beware. Anything can happen. We just saw while we're on the podcast live, Jim Miller and Bobby Green got canceled. And Jim Miller was where Gilbert Burns is right now in my lineup. I had Jim Miller there instead. Ian Hines is another great one. He's a value pick.
I picked against Ian Hines, and I was going to bet Gaslam. I'm not betting Gaslam strictly because I swear to you, Gaslam's belly. Like it was the belly.
I didn't see him.
Yeah, it was like he's never ripped up or anything like that. He's not an 85er really. And he's kind of like skinny fat most of the time, but he just had a gut on him, like more so than I've ever seen. And I'm like, guy coming off 3 losses, his personal trainer's his girlfriend. Is this dude even working? Like what is going on here? It scared me. I don't know if I'm gonna touch Hines. He's at plus 194 because I really don't like Ian Hines either. But shit, dude.
Ian Hines, so he's 7,400, and Gilbert Burns is 7,200, and I have 7,300 left. So I would go to Ian Hines if I could, but with Miranda Maverick, with Macy Barber, with Usman, with Ricky Simone, with Phil Rowe, I think those motherfuckers are locked in for all potential finishes. And if not finishes, then specifically with Usman, he's getting those points.
Macy Barber, win or lose, she's going to be punching faces and taking bitches down. Bottom line, I know people are sour on her because she locks her Roxanne. I get it. She had this hype train and it kind of fell off. I get it. but she's a fucking dog. She's going to get in there and she's going to get in your face and she's going to punch you and she's going to take it out. Yeah. That's points. That's points. That's points. That's points.
Exactly. So, to wrap it up, we're not picking winners. We're picking those people who can pick points, who can get points, which is obviously why I have two fighters that are fighting each other in my lineup, because that 5-round opportunity, they're getting 2 more rounds than anybody else. And with Gilbert Burns being 7,200, he's just about the least expensive.
Perfect scenario, bro, is everyone else gets finishes or just looks fucking great. Main event goes to a draw. Both guys got over like 150 strikes. You know what I mean? Goes to a draw, no winner or loser. Oh my God, dude, that'd be fucking sick. I can see it happening. If there's any fight in the card that's going to go to a draw, it's going to be the main event. I think it's really close. I'm an Usman guy. I do think Usman's going to win, but it's a fucking crack of a fight. Gilbert Burns looks ripped. He looks in great shape.
And you got to, also take into account that these guys are former training partners. They know each other.
Yeah.
I think they said they sparred over 200 rounds. So nothing's going to surprise them. It's going to be an all-out dogfight.
Everything I've read and everything the rumors are going around was that Gilbert got the better of Usman on the ground. And then Usman actually got the better of the stand-up, like the better boxing. So that's why they work so well together, because they were the same size, and Gilbert's lights out on the ground. And when you're rolling and wrestling and training with guys, you're going to get caught. That's whatever. But Usman, his boxing obviously isn't world class. He doesn't have the one-touch power, but apparently in the gym, he's like a workhorse because he doesn't stop. He keeps moving forward. There's videos of him sparring Luke Rockhold, Michael Johnson, and these fucking dudes are throwing haymakers after the bell. Like the bell went off and everyone stops, and these two dudes are fucking still going. Like it was an intense place down there in Florida, and I gotta imagine there's so much footage of Gilbert and Usman fucking going at it. I can't wait, dude. It's gonna say the card's weak. I'm not gonna see him sugarcoat it. It's a fucking weak card, but that main event is fire.
It's well worth it.
Yeah.
It's getting weaker by the
by the fucking hour. Every pulling out. Yeah, we can't have any more fights pulling off. All right, so that was your DFS. Hopefully, the people watching learned something. I definitely learned something. We're gonna, obviously, if you win 150K or whatever it is, sprinkle some money this way.
Yeah. Bro, you get in the studio, dog.
Yeah, listen, we're for sale. Again, I talked about this yesterday. Last weekend, I did like 11 bets. I don't feel like this is an 11 bet card for me. I'm going heavy on Usman. I'm going to put him. I'm going to do the slime ball parlay as well with him. And then as far as props, because this is the one shop stop props, I really like, believe it or not, let me see what the line was. I really like Julian Marquez and Maki Pitolo to go to the decision. Both heavy-handed guys, both strikers, but I think they're both pretty durable. Marquez has been out for a while. He's built like a bear. He's not getting put down, but I feel like the inactivity is going to kind of wear on him. I feel like he's going to pressure Pitolo. Pitolo, decent chin. He's been knocked out before, but I feel like he's going to hang in there. That's at plus 132 to go to decision. I like that one. That's one that not a lot of people were talking about. A lot of the props are a little chalky. I actually like Bilal Muhammad to finish too. I think Bilal Muhammad by TKO KO is plus 500. Bilal doesn't finish anybody, but Diego is chinny, and Bilal is just too overpriced for me. Plus 450 is absolutely crazy. For him to win by points is minus 135, so that is probably a better avenue to go. But at plus 500 with a chinny fighter like Lima, I mean, I can see Bilal Muhammad getting on top of him and TKOing him. I mean, crazier things have happened. And the other one that I was thinking about as well was going to be, I think is so Vieira by first round submission. I think everyone kind of knows that one is going to happen. That's in the minus category. But we were talking about Miranda Maverick, who I'm actually pretty high on. I think everyone is. Miranda Maverick by KO TKO, which I like as well, because I feel like she can overwhelm Gillian Robertson, who's very good on the ground and durable herself. But that's at plus 500 too. You give me plus over 1 for these killers, your boy's going to take a shot at it. I mean,
got to, baby.
Sprinkle. This is a prop. These are very hard to do. This is basically predicting how a fight's going to fucking end. That's why they're giving you insane lines like this. For Maverick to win by points is plus 150 as well. So I like her at minus 146. I'm going to take her at minus 146. But if you really are confident there, take her at plus 150 for points as well. I think she's a dog. I think she's a real up and comer. And a lot of people can't say enough good things about her. So she's
what was Maverick for TKO? What was Maverick for the KO?
plus 500.
No shit.
Yeah. For her to win by TKO, KO is plus 500. That's what I'm saying. You get her at minus. I love her at minus 146. She should be the favorite. And then you go, oh, this is a savage girl who can get the fight to the ground and pound bitches out on top because she's heavy on top. And you're going to give me 5-1 odds? Yeah. I'm going to take
it, baby. Yeah.
And you're going to give me almost 2-1 odds for her to win a decision, which is the only other. I don't think she's going to submit Gillian Robertson because Robertson does have a good ground game.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm going to sprinkle both those. Right? You know, I'm going to put Maverick in the parlay, sprinkle the props. I mean, you can't lose. We can't lose tomorrow, Tim.
Can't lose, dog.
We're trying to tell people. I'm going to hashtag tomorrow when I send out my bets. We can't lose.
I want to point this out to you. Did you see the FanDuel boost? The FanDuel boost? FanDuel boost.
Yes, the Gaslam. I don't know if it's different in our cities or states or whatever, but I got Kamar Usman, Kevin Gaslam both to win, and it boosted to plus 150. Is that what you got too?
I got that. I don't like that.
Kelvin Gaslam scares me.
Yeah, no doubt. Is that the only boost you have?
It's the only boost I got. Yeah. What else you got?
I have a Kamaru versus Gilbert Burns to end via KO plus 160.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I like it plus 160. You can only bet 50 on it, so maybe like a $20 bet might not hurt anything. But I think that should be boosted up to like 300 because I think that fight's going to decision. I think both dudes are nails. I mean, Gilbert's been knocked out once by Dan Hooker by a knee, and that was at 155 where apparently he was killing himself to get down there. You look at Gilbert's at 170, his fucking neck's this big. He's shredded up. Usman has never been hurt in a fight, never been buzzed, doesn't have the best defense in the world. I don't think either of these guys are going down. I think that's a fight you can bet to a decision, which I'm curious of what that is.
I was just about to look that up.
Let me pull that up right now. So method of victory, Usman by points is plus 110, and Burns by points is plus 700. Listen, if you like running underdogs, Burns by points at plus 700 is not bad. By submissions, 800, and by knockouts, actually the lowest by knockouts, plus 600. That's surprising.
Dude.
Yeah.
Burns we just saw what he did to Woodley, which was exactly what Usman did to Woodley. Yeah. You tell me he can't win a
by points. If Gilbert Burns wins, it's by points. I mean, I know a lot of people want to throw out the submission thing. Yes, he could catch Usman. I just don't see. I think Usman's too safe. You know what I mean? He's not gonna. He knows how good Gilbert is. If it goes to the ground, he's not gonna do anything fucking crazy. He's probably gonna take him down just to get him back up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Gilbert Burns by points at plus 700 is, I think, a crazy line. I think that's 7-1 odds on the only way I think that guy can win in a pretty competitive fight. I know otherwise, but I think it's competitive.
I've been getting a lot better, especially, I'm gonna plug myself, Bet the Best 3 on Twitter.
Hey.
We do a bet of the day, and I'm always the guy that's doing the parlays to try to get rich. Mm-hmm. And I've just been betting very much more safer. I'm taking a 2-game parlay or just very small shit that has an actual realistic chance of hitting. But I got to say, I'm definitely going to put $10 on Maverick by KO and Burns by decision. I'm going to parlay those two.
Always
50-1.
When I write down my bets, I know what I'm doing. I think about it all week. I go, here's the safest bets, Brian. Here's what you're going to do. I always do a parlay. I always do single bets, right? And then when I get down there, I have whatever my bank account is, whatever my bankroll is, there's always like a little left over. And that's my fuck around money. That's my money. Yeah. I go, you know what, Maverick by 500. That's what hit me with the Thiago Moises at plus 850 over Bobby Green.
I rode that with you.
Fuck around money. You know what I mean? The fuck around money. You know what I mean? That's what you got to have. You got to go in with a set plan of here's what I'm going to hit. That's my advice for guys at work who like to gamble. Parlays are so enticing because they can bet $5 and win $70. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can, but listen, you don't need. Why don't you bet $5 and win $35, and then next week take that $35 and bet $10 and win $90? Let's not do a 5-fight parlay because that's fucking hard to hit.
Very hard.
You can hit them, but that's really fucking hard. MMA is a crazy sport to bet against. That's why I love it. I think it's one of the best sports in the world. I love all sports. I love football, but MMA to me obviously is my passion. But there's something about it when you because not every fight really tickles everyone's balls. Like not every fight's like a banger. But if you put money on a fight, no matter what it is,
no matter what,
you care, right?
Yeah.
And I try to do that with football. Like I've tried to care about the overs, unders, and fantasy football kind of did that for me back in the day. But not like fighting. Fighting is just because it's so like you're watching a fight and within a minute, you've seen a million fights and you've seen people come back. You bet a guy in a minute in he's losing and you're like, oh, fight's over. He's lost. Fuck this. My money's down the drain. You know what I mean? Like
then he comes back.
And he comes back, right? It's such a whirlwind.
It's instant gratification. It's instant action.
It really is. And all sports are like that. Like NFL's like that when guys think they have in the bag and they get a hit of Hail Mary, or NBA especially. I mean, these fucking over-unders and covers in NBA where they got that fuck around time and some dude's just shooting threes to pad his stats and you ruin your spread.
Yep.
I mean, it's a wild thing, and I'm so happy that gambling is now becoming mainstream essentially, and because it used to be like a back alley thing where like you had an old bookie and it was shameful. Now it's front and center, and ESPN's giving you lines, and it's great, and I think it's absolutely fucking criminal that not every state has it because it brings so much money to that state.
Absolutely.
Go to things that need it. I mean, Indiana is a trash state that I got to drive to, and they're making $250 million a month. So, all right, listen, Timbo, this has been a blast. Obviously, I'll talk to you. We'll text tomorrow about the picks and whatever, not like that. I appreciate you hopping on here. Bet the best 3 on Twitter, everybody.
My man, I appreciate it, brother. Y'all take it easy.
All right, see you, buddy.